Right. Welcome, everybody. Excited for this week's webinar. And we're excited to have you all join us. We're going to give you just a second for everyone to join in. And then we'll get started here. Thanks, everybody, for your support. And during these crazy times, I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. We started out calling this our COVID webinar series, but it just seems to keep going. So now it's just our webinar series. So we'll keep them up as long as you guys keep coming. So I'm excited about today's content. I'll be your presenter. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at IXN. Many of you probably know me, but some of you may not. My name is Lasse Young, as you can see here on the screen. And I'm going to be talking about the latest and greatest from IXN. But first, let's start with some housekeeping items. Please keep in mind that we are recording this webinar, and we always post our webinars on our YouTube channel afterwards. So if any of you need to jump off early or want to go back and recap anything that was talked about today, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which Jen will post a link to here in the chat. You can also find our YouTube channel link at the bottom of our homepage on our website. But if you subscribe, then you'll always get the updates every time we do a new webinar. So afterwards, when we post it, when we go live with the video on our YouTube channel, you'll get an email that says, hey, IXN just posted a new video. So follow us there. Keep that in mind. Jen, if you don't mind posting that link to our YouTube channel here in the chat, then everyone can find it easily. As we go, feel free to ask questions. There is a Q&A section there in your menu bar. It's ideal if you use that. You can also put them in the chat area at any time if you prefer. If I don't get to your questions right away, I'll make sure to answer them at the end if I can. Otherwise, I'll for sure reach out to you individually and get your questions answered. But we'll make sure everyone's questions get answered. And we know many of you are busy, so we're going to try to keep today's webinar to 30 minutes. So that being said, let's get started on today's topic. Go to the next screen here. Latest and greatest from IXN. That's what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about some of the latest features, some of the things coming. Many of you who are current subscribers to IXN have requested features over the last few months and years and things like that. I think you're going to be pretty excited about some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. And then we have a big announcement today. So we're going to start with talking about new carriers added in 2020. Part of the reason that's important is you need to, if we add a carrier who we didn't have before, even if maybe we were quoting them and we added them to our forms engine, in order to turn them on, you all need to go into your dashboard and activate those carriers. And so, because we don't turn them on automatically for you. Every time we update forms and things like that, that gets updated, or things like that. You don't have to worry about those types of things, but we don't want to just add a new carrier because we don't know if that's one of your carriers that you're contracted with. So that's important. We're going to start with that. We're going to recap a little bit. If you've joined a lot of our webinars this year so far in 2020, you'll probably, some of it will probably be a little bit of a recap, but there's probably some things you've missed because there are some things that I'll talk about that maybe you don't know about, that's a little feature that could make a big difference for your agency or for making your life easier, which in today's day and age, we're all about making life easier, right? Because we have enough to worry about out there. Then we're gonna talk a little bit about what's coming from IXN. So we've been working really hard on some relationships, some different things that I think you all will be excited to hear about. We'll get to that. We have a big announcement. You have to be here for that, and then I'll talk a little bit about. I'm going to finish with our roadmap tool, because while I talk about what's coming from IXN, we want to hear from you. It's really important. And we put a lot of weight on the feedback that we get from our customers. A lot of tech platforms out there ask for feedback, right? But not a lot of them actually do something about it. So a lot of the things that you'll hear about today were a result of our roadmap tool and you requesting features from us and helping us to understand why those things are important to you. That's big for us. We want to make sure our platform is the easiest to use, the fastest, and the most easiest to use, user-friendly. So that's really important to us. And so I'll talk a little bit about that, make sure everyone knows what the roadmap tool is, and then we'll finish with some Q&A. So let's jump into our new carriers that have been added in 2020. Some of these you may not know about. There are some smaller carriers. Most of the major carriers are on our platform already. There's a couple here, AXA and Global Atlantic were already on our platform, but their forms weren't. So we have added their forms to our platform, to the forms engine. So keep that in mind. These other ones are totally new to the IXN platform. You may not know, a few of these are smaller carriers like American Farmers and Ranchers, Sons of Norway. Sons of Norway has a great final expense product, for example. And so these are all carriers that are new to the IXN platform. If you're not sure how to adjust your carriers, reach out to our support team, or you can go into the dashboard. There's a support button here where you can find an article on how to do so. It's fairly simple. I'll just show you real quick. So for example, if you have your agency life quoter, you go into products, you click on your agency life quoter here, you click on this drop down, you go to carriers and products, and then you can go in and you can adjust the carriers that are on your platform. So if you want to turn on Zurich Life, you can do so here. It looks like a quick question came in. Who do I speak with to purchase the platform? That would be me. And I'll share my contact information here at the end. But Larry, I have your contact information, so I'll be sure to reach out to you as well after the webinar. So someone said that there's, am I sharing my screen? I should be sharing. Hopefully everyone can see my screen here. I'll make sure to re-share it. John's, you said that you don't see video, you're just viewing my face. So I just reshared it. Hopefully that's working for everybody. If not, John, maybe jump out and try to jump back in. But ultimately, this is where you can turn on and off carriers. You can come in here and click them. Also with products. So for example, in the last year, Protective added their 35 and 40-year term. Those also don't get turned on automatically. You can see here in my demo platform, I don't have them turned on. So you may want to go in, it might be a good idea for many of you to just go in, go through your carriers and click on the bottom right corner of the ones you have turned on, because we run into this a lot. Someone calls us up and says, hey, the Secure Lifetime GUL product is not showing up, for AIG, and maybe you just don't have it turned on. So keep that in mind. But ultimately, we're pretty excited. We've got the Global Atlantic one, I'm sorry, that's in the works. So that's not in there just yet, but Global Atlantic is currently being added to the platform. And I'm sure there will be others this year. I don't know if, which others there are right now in the works of, as far as just totally new carriers to the IXN platform, but Global Atlantic is currently being added. And then this year has been, with everything going on, there's been a lot of updates to the platform in general as far as rate changes and things like that. So we've been hard at work to try to make sure that our platform is always up to date and we've got the latest rates and forms and all that. So that's it for new carriers this year so far. We'll talk a little bit about new things we're doing with some of our current carriers. But let's talk about new 2020 features. One of our biggest launches this year was our Smart Office integration. So we integrated our quoting engine, our forms engine, and our mobile app with Smart Office. So if you're a current Smart Office user, if you're a customer of Smart Office, and you're using IXN, or maybe you're considering a new agency management system or CRM, Smart Office is integrated with IXN. Great solution. We've had great feedback on it so far. I'll just show you real quick some screenshots. We're not going to go into demoing everything because we don't have time today. If you're interested in the demo, reach out to me. I'm happy to demo it for you. Or if you're interested in the demo of Smart Office, we can get you connected with someone over there. They're great to work with. But here's a screenshot of working in Smart Office. So you'll see if you're working in the contact record, there's a little IXN button there. If you've got the integration turned on. If you're a current user of both, reach out to us. We'll get you set up. It's fairly easy and it doesn't cost anything extra. But there's several different areas where you can access the IXN quote engine. What's nice is if you're in a contact record, it autofills fields and things like that. Makes it a lot quicker to get to where you're going. So when you jump over to the quote engine, you can then utilize all your tools, all your web tools with IXN right from there. One thing that is coming that's new is, I believe we're gonna, right now it pops out to a new tab. We're embedding it into Smart Office so it actually never leaves Smart Office. I'm not exactly sure on the timeline on that, but that is something that's being worked on, which will be nice. Yeah, so that's our quoting tools integrated with Smart Office. We've also integrated our forms, so you can actually add that to your homepage within Smart Office. So our forms engine can be embedded into Smart Office. So when your case managers are in Smart Office working on cases and they need to go grab a agent report or authorization to release information, or maybe even a new business form or product information, our forms engine has a lot of info in there. That is a really nice tool. It's embedded. You don't actually leave Smart Office. So again, similar to what the Agency Life Quoter does, and you can utilize all the tools and grab our forms. The last piece we've done so far this year is integrate our within our mobile app platform. There is let me show you here. There's a tool called there's a tool called our push notifications tool. The push notifications tool, oh, I have a screenshot of it here, looks like this. And historically, you could do manual push notifications to the mobile app, so you can send out a message to an individual user or to everybody. If you're using Smart Office, and what you can do is from within the case management tool, anytime a status on your cases change, whether it's an automatic feed from the carrier, which Smart Office does a great job with, or if you change it manually, your agent can be notified via your mobile app instantly, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool little feature. Just gives them a little more visibility into what's happening with their cases in real time. So they, we change it to issued, great, or submitted or whatever, they get a push notification, and they can open that right up in their mobile app. All right, so another new feature that's come to the IXN platform this year is we in our mobile apps, we added a new health analyzer. So the new health analyzer, we've essentially improved the questions in the needs analysis, sorry, not health analyzer, needs analysis calculator, to provide more accurate analysis of your client's financial needs. So so in addition to adding more specific questions, we've also included additional instructions explaining the purpose of each field, which you can see here. There's these little question marks. And the estimate coverage need is then calculated, and we pre-fill into the life quotes just like before. So when you actually, so it's just more robust. It's the same calculator. But we've added more fields. It's a little more accurate. It gets a little more nitty-gritty. You can still be basic if you want. So if you just want to include their income and their debt, you can do that, and you can get a need out of that. But if you want to get more detailed with it now, you can add their children and their college plans and annual health care costs, what percentage of their income you'd want to replace, all those types of things. So there's a lot of really nice pieces to that we've added. That is coming to the web platform as well. So the agency life quoter has this little toolbox down in the bottom left here, and it's said coming soon for a while now, but that's in the works. Now that it's live on the mobile app, it will soon be added there as well. So that's one of the things that's coming here. Probably here before the end of the year, I think. I'm not sure on the timeline on that, but so that's a new feature here. We've also added, and this was by popular demand, this was probably one of the features that was requested the most from our customers, a condensed premium comparison PDF. So now you can put more quotes on one page of the PDF. We've gotten this request a lot. We designed a new layout, new design. This one actually doesn't include the logos, which we adjusted, so it actually even includes the logos on there. I think you can include up to 15 quotes on one page, and you can do multiple face amounts, multiple health categories, multiple products, carriers, things like that. So you can put a lot on one PDF now. I know a lot of agencies who maybe your agency runs the quotes for the agents and sends it to them. Wanted something that was more condensed so you can fit more on a page if they like to print them out or whatever. It's quicker to get to what they're looking for. So that's something that we launched. So if you haven't played around with that, when you go in and you run a quote on the agency life quoter and you get to the quote results, oh, someone's been playing around with this. Oh, yeah, someone narrowed this down to just Prudential. Or maybe I didn't select. Yeah, I didn't select my carriers, that's why. Let's run a little less here. Perfect, run a quote. And what you do is when you get to the quote results, so let's say we want to do a PDF comparison, right? We select the carriers we want. Just like before, you click share, download, email, or text, and it's right here, condensed premium comparison. You can then download it and open that as a PDF. So nice little feature. Really, I think it's a usability feature that a lot of people requested and really wanted from the platform. So here you go. So you can see how we added the carrier logos here. That's from the screenshot I had here from before. Another feature, this is a little usability feature, is we set we added the ability to set a minimum and a maximum face amount that they can run on the quote engine. So that was a request that we got from a lot of customers. So basically this feature, along with the minimum face settings, will prevent agents from running quotes outside the specified range. Again, this can be set from your dashboard. So that's a new feature in there. Face amount limiting for quote actions. This is interesting. So this is a new thing we added this year. If you're familiar with quote actions, that's like the ability to do like an e-app or a drop ticket, or if you're using custom quote actions, you can now, so for example, if you only want agents doing drop tickets for cases that are over a certain amount, or like, let's say you want you only want them to do an e-app for cases that are over 500,000 or a million in face amount, but you want drop tickets for the smaller ones, you can customize that now. So you can come in here when you set up those tickets or that action, I'm sorry, to have a minimum and maximum face amount. So that's a new feature there. That's done from the dashboard. Next thing is we have a new notification triggered delivery method. This is a little more useful for if you're working with like an integration partner. It just makes our platform a little more useful for like if you want leads or any kind of notifications from the platform to go somewhere else. You can now do a web call and email. Basically you can send it to third parties if you want it to come to it as an email and then also be sent somewhere else. So And we'll post all the data over there, whether it's a lead or whether it's a, hey, I want to get notified every time an e-app is done, or a ticket or something like that. That's a new feature that we've added. This is kind of a cool little feature. I showed one of our customers mobile apps here. They're a screenshot of theirs. We've now added the ability to include your own custom icons in the mobile app. So you can see here, like in the main menu of the mobile app. So here's a customer, Insurance Advisors, that they provided their own icons for each tool. It just makes it a little more custom, a little more, feels a little more custom to you. So if you want to provide your own icons for live quotes, or quote requests or needs analysis, you can do that for any of those features. That's something you'll work with our support and fulfillment team on. If you have a mobile app already and that's something that you want to get adjusted, we can do that for you, and there's no extra cost for that. You can see they look pretty nice. It makes it kind of feel a little bit more like your app, a little less template-y, which is nice. Oh, forgot to change the menu up here. We have a new quote details screen in the mobile app. So in the app, as you can see here in my little GIF, when you get to the quote results, before, when you clicked on a carrier, it just kind of expanded it a little bit. What it does now is it actually pops to a new screen, because we've got a lot more data in there. We added product features and a lot of different data into the mobile app that weren't there before. And so we had to find a way to make that more easily accessible and display it. So if it's been a while since you've logged into your mobile app, maybe go take a look and run some quotes, and you can click on the carrier and you can click in, you can see a lot more detail there, which is a nice little feature. And again, I want to emphasize that includes product features, which is nice. So like, what I mean by that is we have in our platform, we have the ability to, when you run a quote, you can click on the carrier and you can see features for that product. So we've had that in the agency live quoter available for a while now, since our big update that we did last year in the fall. But now these show up in the mobile app as well, in that results screen. So nice little feature there. We've also added the ability to do PDF comparisons. So similar to the way you can do it on the agency life quoter. Right now, it's just the one PDF that you can do. So it's this detailed comparison, the one we've had for a very long time. But I'm sure that'll get changed eventually, where you can select which layout you want. But basically, you can come up here, you click compare, you click the ones you want, you click compare, and then there's a share button that you can, where you can send off that PDF right from your phone, which is nice. So before, you could only text one quote. So, you see protected here. If you just want to send that off, it would just send a text message with like a text with text. Now it sends like a text, an email, or you can download a PDF, just like in the agency life quoter, with a PDF, like a link to a PDF that they can open. So it looks a little nicer, has the logos, and it's all laid out just like you have in the agency life quoter. Whew, I am running short on time. Let's get moving. So those are some of the new things that we've done here in 2020 so far. I don't even think it's everything. There's some small little like fixes and different things. We try not to spend too much time on those things. You can always find the latest things that we've done in our support articles. So if you click on support here, what it's going to do is it's going to take you to a support page. And then here there's this product updates option, which we also email out. You can click on see all articles, and then you can see any updates we've done on web, data, or mobile here when we did those release notes. So you can always click in and see what the latest and greatest is there yourself. So let's get to the fun new stuff that's coming here for the rest of 2020. So the first one that I'm really excited about is we have new carrier e-tickets coming. Now this is, we have our integrations and things like that, and those are still going to be there. But if any of you have seen the protective process that we built, where we have a direct feed right into the carrier, it's all digital, it's very fast, had a lot of success with it, a lot of tickets going through that platform. We're doing a similar process with other carriers. And so this is something that a lot of you have been asking for. Pack Life is getting close to launching, and Nationwide and SBLI are in the works. So those are going to be coming here very soon. And then we have 7 to 10 other carriers, which I can't mention yet because we don't have signed agreements with them yet. But 7 to 10 other carriers that are coming as well. I think Pack Life will probably be early Q4, Nationwide, SBLI, hopefully mid to late Q4 as well. So before the end of the year, we should have another few carriers with a similar type process. It's not going to be the exact same because each carrier has their own parameters, but it'll be very similar to what you've experienced with Protective. And really nice, fast, smooth process. No third parties. It goes directly to the carrier, things like that. And then, like I said, there's 7 to 10 other carriers that are in the works, and I think those will probably come early 2021, hopefully sooner, but those are pretty close. So pretty exciting stuff. This is probably, for me, this is probably the most exciting thing, is this, because what we really want to do is we want to have a really good digital process from end to end with as many carriers on our platform as possible. And this is something you've been requesting. It makes the life of your agents easier. It makes it mobile, so they can do it from anywhere, all that kind of stuff. So let's move on. This is something that's been requested a lot. We're working on a basic health analyzer for our agency life quoter. It'll probably come to the mobile app after that. I think it's coming to the agency life quoter as well. This is something a lot of you have requested. Basically, we're going to start with like height and weight and possibly tobacco type to be able to run the quote with those parameters. So you can get to the right quotes quicker. So that's a big thing that's in the works. This is, again, this is by popular demand, right? So as we'll talk about in the end, how to kind of request more things like that. So that's something that's coming. Biometric login for our mobile apps. So our mobile app platform, you'll be able to log in with your thumbprint. A lot of this has to do with the fact that eventually it'll probably move to where you have to log in when you open the app. If you have certain settings turned on, that way we can store more information, more personal information in the app without, so if an agent loses it, it's not accessible, things like that. So biometric login will really help with the speed of that and accessing the tools. Some new features coming to our Smart Office integration. The ability to save a quote action. So a quote action where you can click on, hey, I want to save this quote to my pending case or my contact record in Smart Office. And then also from our website quoter, our lead gen platform, having the ability for the leads automatically to feed into Smart Office. So those are some of the new features that are coming to that integration. So those are some of the new things that we've got planned for the end of the year. Like I said before, if there are other things that you want to see that I haven't mentioned here, request them, and I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. So our big announcement is what you see here. Really excited about this, guys, because this is a whole new segment for us. We are building a end-to-end long-term care quote and application engine. It is pretty far down the road. Here's a few little teaser screenshots. These may change, but this is coming in Q4. So if any of you agencies out there sell long-term care insurance, and this will be a multi-carrier engine, I think we'll launch it with one carrier initially, but this will be a multi-carrier engine, and we'd love to hear which carriers you want on there. But this will be the ability to I mean, it includes education materials in there, needs analysis, quote, and then full digital application process with the carrier that drops right into the carrier. This is really cool. So this is a whole new segment. It'll be a whole separate engine from the agency life quarter because it's a very different process. We've worked a lot on designing a really intuitive, easy to use step-by-step process for doing this. From what I understand, this will be the first real multi-carrier end-to-end quote and application solution out there for agents. And so this is something that's coming. This is the big announcement I was talking about. We're really excited about this. We've been talking about moving into other lines of business for a long time. A lot of you have been asking us for that, and we do plan on moving into even more. Long-term care is just our first one that we're moving into. So really excited. Keep an eye out for more announcements. This is just kind of a teaser, but keep an eye out for more announcements. Once it's closer to being ready, we'll be sharing with you guys how that's going to work, pricing, things like that. So big deal. Really excited about this. Hope you guys are too. If you sell long-term care, this should be huge for you. If you don't and you've considered it, this might make it easier for you to add that as a tool within your platform. All right, so we're out of time. I'm just going to quickly show you the roadmap tool here, and because I want to make sure we cover that. So in your dashboard, on the left-hand side, there is a roadmap button down here on the bottom left. If you click on that roadmap button, what will happen is it's going to show you what people have been requesting, what has been accepted, what's in the design process, what's in the development process, what's being tested, and what's been released recently. You can see some of the things I've talked about, acts of forms, notification triggers. But you can also go in here and you can click on a feature and you can vote on it as well. And then last but not least, you can submit an idea here. So you can, if you have something that's not in here that you think we should really focus on, let us know, submit that through here. Please do this. If you're a current user of IXN, we really encourage you to do this. We do listen. You know, it may not always get done as fast as you would like because we have a lot of different, as you can see, a lot of things we're working on. And you know, we're not a huge company. We've got a good staff, but but we take a lot of care in listening to our customers and taking that into account when we plan out what we're going to develop in the future. So make sure you're utilizing that. It's a huge asset to you and to your team. So thank you all for joining. I'm going to open it up for questions here. We covered a lot of information, so you know, please let me know if there's any. I do have a question here from Tim, so I'll answer that in a second. But please feel free to chime in. If you're not a current client of IXN, I'm happy to do a private demo for you. If it's a platform you think might fit your needs, feel free to reach out to me directly and we can schedule a demo of the platform. Here's my contact information on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me directly. If you don't know how to pronounce my name, I put the pronunciation there because most Americans struggle with it. Or if you're a current client, you have our products and log into the dashboard, chat with our support, I'm happy to help you. Feel free to call our 1-800 number on our website. So I'm going to answer a few questions here. Tim asks, how long is the average onboarding process for carriers? Oh, let me click on the answer. That's a good question. I don't know that I can answer that because it really depends on the carrier. You know, every carrier is going to be different. Unfortunately, there's not standardized processes in our industry. So it's really going to vary from carrier to carrier. Some carriers it's going to be very quick, you know, maybe a couple of weeks, and then some testing. Other carriers it's going to be months or you know, it might take a while. The good news is we've done this before. This is not new to us, so we can move pretty quickly. So let's see here. Is there any way to quote more than 3 face amounts, Jody? Not currently. We've limited to 3 face amounts. Again, if you want more than that, request it in the roadmap. Give us a good reason. Tell us why that's important to you, and we'll definitely consider it. But right now, it's just 3 face amounts at a time. Larry, I will be sure to reach out to you. And then I already answered that question. Cool. Well, it looks like there's no more questions. So we'll end it here. Thank you all for joining me. Stay safe, and I hope you all make it a great day.